Okay, hey everyone, we're here for our call on Tuesday, July 26th. And there is an amazing testimonial that I want to ask Monica to share about her mother. Monica and Spencer are fabulous servers in the Bay Area. And Monica, tell us what happened with your mom.
Thanks for asking. Yeah, that was amazing. My mom is 91. She'll be 92 in August. And she is a warrior. I got to set that up first. She's definitely a Catholic and just loves life and super positive. But unfortunately, I found out later, but she takes blood pressure pills, and a side effect of the blood pressure pill could be is edema, and she's been suffering with that. And she didn't really tell anybody that her legs were hurting and she was kind of out of breath. And then one night she just knew she couldn't breathe very well. And so my brother and dad took her to the emergency room, and they definitely said that, oh my gosh, you know, her lungs have a lot of water, liquid in them. Her legs were just like balloons. And I was like, of course, terrified. That's my mom. And anyways, I went down to the Bay Area, and I knew to bring what I call my Mary Poppins bag that has Nikken products all in there. And I texted, of course, Julie, you know, do you have any suggestions? And so immediately I put on, she couldn't walk. First of all, she was super weak, and I got there and I slipped under the M steps under her feet. And then Julie suggested, which was awesome, is from the head down, as I put earrings on her, and I put the neck band, and I put the far infrared wraps on her arms because they were all bruised up from the IV needles. So she was so cute, though. She kind of just nodded her head and said, okay. And so she trusted me enough to just let me put whatever I could get on her. And I put them on these like at 10 in the morning, and she still couldn't stand for more than like 2 seconds. And anyways, we let her sit, and like around 3, we're like, Mom, they're not going to let you come home if you can't walk. And we're like, let's try. And she goes, okay. So my dad lifts her up, and he's usually her caretaker. So I think that was comfort too. And we're like cheerleaders, and all of a sudden her face was just like, oh, I'm going to do this. And she stood up, and she walked all the way across the room, which was like amazing. Everybody's jaw was just like, what is happening here? And she was so happy, her big old grin on her face. And of course, like my whole heart is like, Nikken, it's Nikken. And so, and my whole siblings are super supportive of it also. So that was just like, I was total joyous. And then she sat down, and then she's so cute, like literally a minute later, okay, let's go again. I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. So that was amazing. And the doctor came in like half an hour later. She's like, I'm sorry, you can't go home. You have to go to a physical therapy place. And she hates that because there's like 8 people in a room, and she loves her privacy. So we're like, no, she walked, and the doctor didn't believe it. Super like, no, she can't go home. And like, let's just try it. And we're like, Mom, show her. And she did the same thing, happy, looking up, and frail, but did it. And the doctor literally was speechless. She's like, what just happened? So, yeah, I just said, I go, well, she goes, what's different? And I go, well, if you see under my mom's feet, you know, in her slippers, there's some magnetic steps in there, and she has magnets on her ears and on her neck. And she's like, oh my gosh. So I know that was a huge, huge shift for her. So, and she still has them on, and she got to go home, and that was the story. So I'm super, super happy. The end.
Oh, it's a fantastic story. Thank you, Monica. It really does cry to think of her at 91. Having
I know.
experience, that's so powerful. Spencer, were you there? I don't think you were there, right?
No. I was not there, but I certainly got to hear the highlights of as Monica was calling me with excitement and so forth. So that was a lot of fun. It was fun to hear it, because she's, like Monica said, she's such a sweetheart. She's always so positive and happy, and so it was really great, especially after hearing how down she was. So it was really wonderful. Just a miracle. Just fantastic news.
It is fantastic. And I believe, Spencer, that you have a story. Didn't you just help someone in the last couple of days?
Absolutely, yes. So I met this fellow last week. We were sitting in Starbucks, and we were just kind of chatting back and forth, and realized we had some common interests, and we were talking about spouses. And he says, "Oh, my wife has Lyme's disease. In fact, she just got back a few days ago from being in Peru for a month. They're trying to find some alternative cares and so forth and so on." So like, really, that's interesting. So I started, just kind of casually talking a little bit, just kind of very lighthearted, because I didn't want to overwhelm him. And he was very receptive and said, "Yeah, that sounds interesting." And I said, "So, well, I'd be happy to share them with you." Yeah. So we got together that evening. He was like, "Yeah, let's do this thing." So, and by the way, he had some discomforts in his neck, from playing golf or from, stress and things like that. So we were talking about a few different things, and I went out to their house, showed him a bunch of different things, gave him some lots of pine mag water, which he absolutely loves. He just is thorough with that. So I shared with him the necklace, the sports necklace, the necklace, and the wrist, and he was just convinced that would be something that would be a great benefit for her and him. So they ended up buying 2 wrists, 2 necklaces, the Pine Mag bottle, the sports bottle, and the sleep mask. And the next day I get a text about 6:40 a.m. He said, "I can't believe it. My neck feels fantastic. This is amazing. Could it be this fast?" And so that was just really fantastic news to hear. And the second day he texted me, "This is amazing. My neck, I have no discomfort. I feel great." So he was a real believer. So he took a picture, and this is something you don't know, Julie. So he got that experience that fast, and he is a complete believer. He knows what we know is that magnets can really make a huge difference. Now his wife, in the meantime, got up the next morning and left at 10 a.m. to go back to Peru to continue her search to get for a cure for the Lyme disease. So he actually has not been in contact with her to see how she's doing. So my story is really about his benefit. Yeah. He posted on Facebook. He took a picture of his wrist showing the wristband, and he said, "This fantastic, took my aches away, and I feel fantastic." And then there was several comments. He must have had 8 or 10 comments, including, ironically, some people that I knew. And so he had me call his cousin who lives over in the Bay Area, who was very interested. And then just earlier today, he said, he texted me, "Chuck's ready to buy a bunch of magnets. Call me." So he's just like out there just promoting it. And just wow, he's a guy that's just absolutely on fire. And he has all these friends that he knows that are hurting, which we know is true. There's so many people that are hurting, but you get somebody with that belief, and he's not a distributor at this point. I don't know if he's interested in being a distributor, but he sure is a promoter and an advocate. So yeah, that's fun. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic, Spencer. Well done, you guys. It's just, isn't it exciting? It brings all this new life back into your own life and your own business when you're just out there sharing it with new people. I want to share one that happened the other day. A lady I knew, an acquaintance, and then we got together and got talking, and then turned out she doesn't sleep well, and so then I lent her some of the technologies, and then she was going to bring them back to me last night, and she put them in her cupboard to bring them back to me, and then this morning texted and said, "I had the worst night's sleep because I didn't have the magnets on the bed." And it was just so funny, and I just sort of laughed and said, "Oh, I guess that was meant to be, that you put it in the closet and you didn't have a night with it, and you really saw the difference big time, because she was sleeping well with it." And so that was just a really exciting moment. And then today I'm moving, and it's so funny because my friend Kim calls me up, and we got this big house that we're going to share. It's going to be really fun. So she'll be like a flatmate or a housemate. And so she calls me and says, "The movers are here, and they're really thirsty. Could you fill up some Pine Mag water, please, in some bottles so I can bring it to them, And this is how we are. And just on another story, she actually got an infection in her foot, in the ball of her foot the other day. And since we're moving in, we've been doing a lot of packing here, and she was here. So I looked at it and I said, you know, this is really serious. You have to be very careful of this. If this doesn't clear up in a day, you need to go to a doctor and get antibiotics, because you don't want to lose your foot if the infection goes into the bloodstream. And it was very swollen and very sore, and she couldn't walk on it at all. So I say we, but I provided things and she did them. You know, sometimes I feel like a Florence Nightingale. So I said, here's a bucket of Pine Mag water, you know, she soaked her foot, you know, and then she put some of the cream on, serum cream, and another cream, some Neosporin, which is an antibiotic. So that's important. So that was there. And then we put, what did we do? We did a far infrared sock. We did a power chip underneath the ball of her foot, and we did a power band around her ankle. And she went to bed that night. Now, I'm going to tell you, this foot, this particular big toe, because of the ball of the foot, did not look good. I was seriously concerned, like, you know, you have to take care of this. No kidding. And so she's staying here in my spare room. So the next morning I was like, how's your foot? And she got up, you know, and walked. It's like, I can walk. And the swelling had all gone down. The redness had all gone down. The healing was really beginning rapidly. And so over the last few days, she's been doing that continuously, and it's been absolutely fine. She has not needed the doctor. She has not needed antibiotics, which is great. If we don't need them, we don't want them. But if we need them, we need them, right? So I'm really, really thrilled for her, and that's another example. Now she is an old friend of mine, and she did actually have cancer. And I had talked to her about Nikken before that. And she was like, I'm healthy. I don't need your products. And then she got this diagnosis of cancer. And I said, well, you know what? You got to use them now. You just got to use them. And she had a remarkable recovery. And we don't make any medical claims with our products, of course. We just say, you know, if you give the body back what it needs, alkalinity and oxygenation and magnetic fields and far infrared energy and so forth, it's going to heal itself. And that's exactly what happened. She had a remarkable recovery, and she's been healthy ever since. Never had a recurrence or remission. And that must have been, I don't know, 12 years ago, I'm thinking, like a long time ago. And so, you know, it's just so exciting that the products keep working, and we just need to tell more people. I mean, the only thing that we really need to do is just tell more people, and it will grow like wildfire. And I want you to feel confident about all the changes that have happened. And we're on the right track now. Somebody's a little mute. We might mute. Let me just see if I can mute for a minute. You can unmute if you'd like. It's just I got a little noisy. So, you know, just be confident that we are moving ahead. We are leading the network marketing industry with these changes that we've made, that now every company is going to have to make. Come hell or high water, if they want to or not, they're going to have to do it, or they won't exist. And the leaders in active wellness. And when I say that, you know, I want to really say that as much as we love to help somebody, you know, who's in a dire situation, we really want to help people understand that this is about a higher level of health. It's about taking your health, already being healthy, and taking it to a higher level. So we really want to make sure that we're taking the technologies to high performance athletes, to high performance people in general, whether they're business people at Google who sit in front of computer monitors all day or whatever. We don't want to just think about, I've got to find people who are unwell to take Nikken to. That's absolutely not the case. You want to take it to healthy people. And of course, remember, it's the 5 pillars of health too. And you need to find out what their need is, what they want, what is their problem, so you can give the right solution. And they may just think, you know, I don't need any of this, but then they need to make money. And you can show them the compensation plan, show them how we do this. And I think that after San Antonio and during San Antonio, we'll get a much clearer idea of how to really promote the compensation plan in an easy, understandable way. So I think that's going to be a very, very important meeting. I really urge and encourage all of you to be there. I think it's crucial for us all to be there. And, you know, I know a lot of you have already bought blocks of tickets. I know I have too. And we're all, you know, we're already talking about meeting there. And so this is going to be a watershed event. So make sure that the next weeks that you're really doing a lot of prospecting and sponsoring in order to bring your new people there, because you want them to see the vision of what we see and what we're seeing every single day. We're seeing this vision become clearer and clearer as all this news is coming in. You know, this is world news that's coming in about the network marketing industry. So I think we're very, very blessed, you guys. We're very blessed to have this company. They do protect us. They protect themselves, and they're protecting us for the future. And all we have to do is just make it happen. We have to be the ones to talk to others. We've had many people literally their lives saved with these technologies. It's incredible. And you know, even people that have left Nikken at other times still use our technologies. They still have a $200, $300, $400, you know, auto ship set up because they know they can't do without our technologies. And that's a powerful thing. And I think many of those, if they're able, will be coming back to Nikken. I think some will not be able because they'll have burnt their bridges. But I think the ones who haven't burnt their bridges will be able to come back in. And I think you're going to start seeing that over the next, you know, months and year, because their own companies won't be sustainable anymore, whatever they've gone to. And so I want network marketing to win, full on, every company to win. I want our company to win, of course, and to be the best. It's the one we've all chosen, and I think we've chosen it for very deep reasons. And also, I know this call was going to be on the healthy mind, so I'm just going to say this about the healthy mind, is that sometimes when things are difficult and challenging and you've got to go through change, like I'm moving, the movers will be here any minute, sometimes you really have to go deep. You have to dig deep. And you have to dig deep into your value system. What is it that you really, really value? What is it that your life is really about? And so we know that, of course, we all want to make fabulous income with Nikken. We've done it before, we do it again. But we know we don't live to make money. We know we need money, but we don't live to make money. What are we living for? My belief is that we live to help each other. I think we're all in this together on the planet, 7 billion people. I think it's 8 now. We're here to really help each other, you know, and we're here to be a blessing, however you see that, to be a blessing to each other. And the more we get out of our own way, and listen, we will all have resistance. Every person has resistance to change. Nobody likes change. I don't like to have to move. It's a lot of work. It's upheaval. It's emotionally upheaval. I have resistance, but when I look at the resistance, I understand the resistance. And I go, I get it that I have resistance. And then I surrender to the future. I surrender to the newness, you know, that's coming, the possibilities that's coming. Then I can get out of my own way. Right? I can let go of the resistance and just move forward with joy and with gusto and with belief and with passion. And you cannot build this business without passion. Yeah, you have to have passion because you're getting people's attention. You need to get their attention and keep their attention. And so I just want to say that, you know, for the healthy mind, when things are difficult, you have to go deeper than your mind. You have to go deeper than surface thoughts. Surface thoughts will never, because surface thoughts are errant and they're moving all the time. And you could think this thing 1 minute and have a totally other opinion another minute. They're like clouds across the sun. They're constantly moving. But, you know, the sun shines consistently. And that's more of a sort of heart inner knowing. And so I want to encourage you always, every day, to go into that deeper place of inner knowing, whether it's meditation, prayer, walking, whatever you do that takes you into silence and stillness and solitude. These 3 things, every human being needs a little bit of that on a daily basis. Silence, solitude, and the stillness, where you go to a place that is much deeper than your thoughts, where you really experience yourself as the witness of your thoughts, as the witness of life itself, as the observer, as the consciousness itself that everything comes from, because that's really who we are, what we are. And then define your values. And the reason I always stay constant with Nikken, even through change and up and down, is because my value system fits very deeply what these technologies do, what network marketing really is, what it can be for people, what the 5 pillars of health really stands for. Humans being more in human growth, you know, growing into a higher level of who we are, a better version of ourselves on a daily level, taking off the old skin, you know, the snake skin, and transforming ourselves to a higher, better person that we aim to be. And so because Nikken fits the bill for my values so deeply, I can stay through a storm, you know, and just stay constant. And it doesn't mean it's easy. I'm not going to say it's always easy, because the mind has its way of just shooting off ideas constantly. What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? So go deep into your heart space, into your inner knowing, and then come from there, because that's what's going to sustain your life and have you feel really good about your life and have you feel really fulfilled. Because I think the key component in all of our lives is to feel fulfilled in what we're doing, not just in the end result of what we're doing, but in the motions of what we're doing, like Monica with her mom, and Spencer with this gentleman he met at Starbucks, you know, and me with, you know, helping my friend Kim with her foot and helping her prior with a pretty serious issue. This is what gives us fulfillment and joy, you know, is helping each other. We're in this together. We're comrades together. You know, you can't win in Nikken without others. You can't be a lone ranger in this business. If you are not a team player, this is a very difficult business to do, because we have to do it together. It's the only way it's going to happen is together. So think on these things, or feel on these things, or go into your inner knowing on these things, and let me know how you go. And I think I hear my movers at the door, so I think I'm going to have to go. And this recording is recorded. We are recorded. So I will say thank you so much to everybody, and we'll talk again next week. And I'll be available for 3 days more from next week on. So thanks, everybody. Have a fabulous evening or rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.
Best of luck with the move.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.